Are you ready for your window shoppers to become paying customers? Ecwid e-commerce is here to make that happen. We can help you automatically show the exact product visitors saw but didn't purchase on your site wherever they go on Facebook and Instagram using this magic called dynamic Facebook retargeting. To show these ads to your prospects today, sign up in your Ecwid control panel in the marketing section and look for the Facebook remarketing app. This is fully integrated into Ecwid and Facebook and so simple and effective you'll wonder why you hadn't done this sooner. Okay, back to the show.
This is the Ecwid e-commerce show with your host, Jesse Ness, along with Richard O'Tay.
Richie, podcast day.
It's that day. It's not Friday this time.
No, we're doing this one on Thursday. Mixing it up.
Triple dipping?
Yeah, absolutely. It's conference week, so conference weeks, so everything got a little thrown off on the schedule. So for people who are listening to the podcast in order, which of course everybody's just dying to download on Fridays, you heard from last week that there was some conferences coming up, and that's where we were at this week.
Yeah, it was great. We just got back from Traffic and Conversion and ran into a friend that actually had just seen, the day prior or 2 days prior at New Media Summit podcast, a fellow podcaster, and definitely looking forward to this. Even though you might wonder at first why we brought on this a particular niche that he specializes in, you'll get as you get to know him and his personality and you hear the knowledge bombs he drops, exactly why we brought him on. It's why you want to go to these conferences. You can learn from people that are doing things, thinking outside the box, doing things in ways that when you're just sitting in your office trying to do your thing, you kind of get stuck in a track of just doing the same thing over and over, and really looking forward to this one.
I mean, I think that same idea. I read and listen to a whole bunch of e-commerce podcasts and digital marketing podcasts, but sometimes I get stuck in my little niche as well, so that's why you got to get out there. So we're encouraging people to get out there and talk to people. So, with that, bring on our guests.
Yeah, so today we have on the show We Close Notes, which is actually Scott Carson and Stephanie Goodman. Welcome. Thank you for coming.
All right. We're excited to be here, guys. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so how was your experience at TNC, by the way?
Exhausting. I think it's the best way you would say it, right, Steph?
Pretty much.
Because we were at New Media Summit 4 days, hanging out with everybody there. It was great. And then we flew cross-country to San Diego here, which is our second home, basically, and 3 amazing days, just nuggets after nuggets, knowledge bombs at Traffic and Conversion. So just great.
Yeah, and it was awesome. We got to meet at a party with another mutual friend, Matt and Joe.
Yeah.
From the Hustle and Flow Chart podcast. So first off, just a little bit of backstory, what it is you do and how you got to do it, and then we'll get into kind of the secret sauce that helped you be successful in that's where they're going to actually get more of the meat of what.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So going back over 11 years ago, I was a previous mortgage broker, back in 2008, and then, of course, everything hit the fan, as we know. And so I jumped on the other side and started buying distressed debt. Distressed mortgage is really kind of a small niche out there. There's only maybe totally 10,000 true debt investors. And back then, there was maybe 5,000 because of everything that hit the fan. A lot of people walked away. And so I started marketing online because that was the one way that I was using to share the deals that I was doing. It was also helping me raise capital, and it helped me lead to really kind of exploding my business because then I started getting booked on radio shows and asked to come out and speak at real estate investment clubs and kind of sharing what a distressed note is or what is mortgage investing. And that was just great. In 2010, I sold everything that I owned in Austin, Texas, except the dog and my truck. And we jumped in the truck and drove what we thought would be like 30 weeks driving across the country, turned into 3+ years.
Wow.
And we leveraged our social media. We leveraged a lot of the online tools that I learned at Traffic and Conversion, other marketing conferences, to really help me explode my business, become the best at what I do in my industry now. So marketing is where everything's at. No matter what type of space that we're all in, there's one thing that unites us all. In today's world, I believe you've got to believe that you're not just in the basket weaving or the e-commerce or the pet rescue aspect of things. We're all in media and marketing. And if you can learn something at a conference that can help you grow your business or expand your audience base or help get the word out, it's worth going to.
Yeah, it's funny. going to hold up my phone here, so you're not going to be able to hear it or see it on the podcast. But I often say to clients, like, this is our greatest opportunity.
Yep.
But it's also our potentially greatest obstacle because it's everybody's opportunity,
Yep,
right?
correct.
So we used to be mesmerized by the screens on the desk in the living room, otherwise known as a TV. And then we were mesmerized by our screens in the office, and then the folding screens that went in our backpacks and, carry on. And then now we have them in our pocket, and there's screens within screens within screens. And everyone's fighting for attention. It starts with attention. And marketing is the story that makes sales easy. If you have poor marketing, sales is hard.
Oh, yeah.
And so it sounds like, based on that backstory there too, that you were doing live events, and then you kind of made your transition to say, like, let's be able to scale this better. Is that when you started to make your move with the online world?
Oh, totally. So we did a lot of events. I was doing like 7-8 workshops a year, and those are hotel events, and there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of overhead, a lot of scheduling, a lot of moving parts, and Steph's our VP operations and a lot of that, and it just got exhausting. I mean, we looked at where we were home. We were spending more nights on Hotels.com hotels than we were at home in Austin.
Yeah.
35, 40, 50 flights a year. That's not fun. And we still travel a lot right now, but we had to start figuring out a way to kind of cut that down, right, Steph? Mm-hmm. And so we started doing online events because we were doing webinars. I've been doing webinars out to our audience since 2011, every Monday night. And we're like, well, why can't we do something like this that's online? And it actually came from a big failure. It was actually Steph's idea.
The failure or the correction?
The correction after a failure. No. I want to make you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Richie.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
Exactly. Thank you. We were going to put on this big event in Houston, Texas. We can call the Build Your Legacy Summit. I dropped $25,000 in marketing costs. It was a cost of $60,000 in AV and audio to have 300 people at it, and we sold like 8 tickets.
Ooh,
ouch.
Yeah, buddies flying in across the country.
Well.
Yeah, and so I was like, I was about to have a heart attack. I was stressed out. Steph can verify that. So we killed it. We killed the event, and then Steph and I were driving to Dallas, and Steph had this great idea.
I turned around. We're on the road to Dallas, and I turned around, and the hamsters have been churning for 2 days, and I'm like, wait a second. We do all these webinars already. Why don't we just do this online? Mm-hmm. As much as we were tired of traveling and dealing with hotels and things like that, and other people having to take time off of work and be away from their family, let's try and put this thing online and see what happens. The worst that can happen is it's a flop, and we modify it, change it, or we just don't do it again. But so his eyes lit up, and it was really cool because he looks at me and he goes, that's a good idea. Let's do that. And after that, we started doing our workshops. After that, we started doing our workshops virtually.
Yeah. So worked out really well. Next time we did it, we did this convention. We actually still do it today, called Note Camp. Content, actions, marketing, and profits. Do it all via like Zoom webinars, 2 rooms, 34 speakers, 700 paid signups from 30 states, 12 countries. Record it all, and now it completely revolutionized the industry because a lot of people want to still go to a hotel workshop, but they don't want to pay for travel or airfare or leave their kids at home. Now they can watch from their laptop, their computer, or their smartphone, and really take in a lot of the live content without the heavy overhead and the time away from home.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it too, is, we love the conference.
Yep.
We're talking about the importance of going to conferences. You want to be strategic because the true cost isn't always just the ticket, right? It's the time away from your business, the time away from your family, the time to fly, and, there's all the logistics of it. So when you first made your move into online, where'd you get started? Was it like specifically back into the webinar piece, or what was your first step?
So our first step is that we're already using Zoom, like a GoToWebinar. And we just said, okay, let's just expand. Instead of doing an hour, let's go ahead and turn it into 3 days. And can we do this all via this one software? And can we get people? We're like, yeah, we could do this very easy. So then we just went to our online marketing then to sell tickets. Instead of me going out and speaking 10 times for one event, I just started leveraging Facebook groups, Meetup.com, the other online portals where people were at, and just started sharing what we were doing, what we had coming up, who was speaking, and did it consistently enough. We're still running a full-time real estate investment firm during the day. Mm-hmm. So a lot of this is at night after we're done, after 5. focused on that 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. hustle. Our side hustle is events where the main business is real estate.
Okay.
And so really focusing on using those tools to help us, okay, let's get people here to make it valuable, or at least here virtually, whether they're joining us live for this 3.5 days or they're watching the replays afterwards.
And paying as well.
That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
'Cause and a lot of people want to get started off doing free events. Free has no value. There is no investment by the person either attending or listening. They're not going to show up. So if somebody's thinking of a side hustle out there, charge. Your time's valuable. Whether it's $47 or $97, there's something. Charge something so that you get serious people there. Because the last thing you want is invite a bunch of people for free, and there's no investment on their part. They won't show up, and then you're left guessing who's going to, pissing your money away into the wind, trying to figure out.
Yeah, there is something to be said. I don't think it was just phonetics that people do tend to pay attention to what they pay for, right? I can't tell you how many times now that's the beauty of podcasting.
Yep.
Is you can still offer something for free, i.e. they can listen to the podcast, but we're still gaining, they're the more successful, say, an Ecwid listener is, the more they apply some of the things they learn, the longer they'll potentially be a customer. So it's not always necessarily a direct sale, but somewhere down the line, you definitely need to be getting paid. So I was going to ask you, do you charge for that summit right out of the gate, or do you do kind of like I've seen it done where they offer it for free that one time, but if you want to buy the recordings, or do you just charge them right from the beginning?
We do the opposite. We throw the recordings in. And I hate to say this, but I think people signing up for recordings at an event is the biggest waste of time, because it usually takes most conferences 6 months to deliver. I'm too busy in 6 months to go back and watch it. So we charge. Now, we do have early bird pricing. You want to save $99. Next month it's $199. Next month it's $299. Last minute it's $399 or $499, because you've got some logistics you got to do at the very end. But yes, charge at the beginning. Now, we do comp some people in. Like if somebody's a past military or first responder, we'll comp them into our workshop for one time. We want to help them out. Or a lot of times we'll run a special, hey, invite a guest for free, or bring a spouse. Those are some simple things that we do. But for the most part, it takes time. Your time is valuable, and what you're offering somebody, it should be a value and make it valuable, because people will value that. And the big thing I tell entrepreneurs too, because we have a lot of them with real estate investors that are coming out of the job, is nobody's going to value your time until you start valuing it yourself. So if you give it away, people are only going to value it as cheap. If you charge for your time, we've all got attorneys as buddies, right?
Yeah.
What do they charge an hour? At least $250.
Yeah.
And
by the 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was gonna say 15 at the most. At the most.
Yeah. So just keep it in mind that you're valuable. You want to work with people that are going to value your time. There's enough dead wood out there. I call them prize pigs that want everything for free.
Right.
It goes back to my high school, college DJ. Show up at an event and I get all the prize pigs. Show them. Can I get that free T-shirt? Weren't you here just last week getting a free T-shirt? You want another poster for your wall, Van Halen? Okay, great. Here you go.
So when you that's so funny. When you got started, you're on Zoom, you're doing these events. How did you first start marketing it? Did you mail to your list first? Did you go back to social?
All the above. So one of the most valuable things that people can do is first know who you're targeting and know where they hang out at. So with us targeting real estate investors, for the most part, we know that our ideal client is 35 to 75, college-educated, homeowner, makes somewhere between $75,000 and $250,000 a year. They have some sort of management title, manager, CEO, some sort of O in their title, and they also like to order things online. So we go to where those people are. So we spend a lot of time and leverage LinkedIn to be able to identify people. We also spend a lot of time on Twitter, although a lot of people like Twitter's dead. No, Twitter's still good because it's short, fast, sweet. When you're dealing with people that have money, they want their information delivered to them short and sweet. Now, we also leverage Facebook as well with targeting to groups there, creating custom audiences. We take our list, upload our list, and then do a lookalike audience as well and target to them. And then we really have a thing we call it's marketing Octagon. We'll try to pick one piece of content and share it in 7-8 different places. across different platforms. And that helps dramatically because 80% of sales are still made after the fifth contact. So if we can hit them on LinkedIn or hit them on an email or hit them on YouTube where they see us, they're like, okay, what do I have to do to get this guy to quit talking to me? I either need to unsubscribe or I think I'll go ahead and sign up now.
Sure. So let's dive into the Octagon a little bit. So you mentioned maybe give an example of a new piece of content that you have in mind, or something you're working on. And go through the steps.
So you have a lot of entrepreneurs that are trying to sell something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So our asset is that we are selling properties or notes. And we'll say we take a property back. So we'll take a good picture of 3017 D-Dredge Drive in Flint, Michigan. So we get a good picture of the property. That's our Instagram post.
Of which they could take a picture, just a tad here. You, the listener, could take a picture of your product the same way that Scott's going to start to unveil here and do the same thing. He's just going to tell you from his perspective of how they do it to drive business back, because this is overall Octagon for marketing to drive traffic to your site. So even though he's going to reference from he sells real estate services and other things that are around notes, you can take this same process and apply it to your T-shirts, your mugs, your food product, whatever it is you have. So just
exactly,
for a second.
Great stuff. So take a good picture, throw it on Instagram, your little story about what the picture is. Hey, here's a great property, and use the hashtags of whatever your people, whether it's entrepreneur or real estate or REO or cash flow. Use those 11 hashtags in there to drive this. But you got a good picture. Mm-hmm. Next thing that we like to do is we'll do a short little video, 2-minute to 5-minute video. Oftentimes it's just me on my cell phone doing a little selfie. Hey, I got this great deal on this property in Michigan. Yada, yada, yada. 2 to 5 minutes. If you want more information, go to my website and use this. Just get signed up.
Sure.
Well, that video, then we share that to YouTube. And we usually do it via Facebook Live as well. So it's on Facebook Live on YouTube.
So you do it, when you're making this video, you actually do it live.
Yep, most of the time.
You push the button for live on Facebook, and then that's recorded, and then you download that later to use for YouTube.
That's correct, with the whole download button and then uploading to YouTube. And then we take that link, whether it's a Facebook link or the YouTube link, and then we send that to rev.com, and that's a transcription service. And they transcribe it, because I don't have time to sit there and transcribe what I said.
You don't trust the
Especially
YouTube...
as fast as you talk.
Yeah, I talk fast. Yeah, exactly. Most people have to put me on double slow to understand versus double speed.
They're like, wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive they transcribe by the minute.
$1 a minute.
So did they adjust your pricing? Because they're like, this is...
No. I can squeeze 10 pounds into a 5-pound bag. Let's put it that way, okay? So, they send the transcription really fast. 2-minute, 5-minute video. I may have it back in 2 hours or sooner. So I take that transcription and I just put it into my description video on YouTube. I go back and adjust it on Facebook. So now I boost my SEO.
So you do the whole... Now, let me back up and dig into that, because I know on YouTube does kind of their own transcription, like the machine learning, whatever. It's not that good at all, actually. So do you put it there, or do you put it in the description of below the video?
I put it in the description below the video.
Got it.
Because YouTube's only going to search off your title or your description or your keywords.
Got it. So if you're lazy and you're like, man, I got like 50 words in here and I can't think of anything more, here's your answer. Put the whole darn transcript.
Yeah, and some of I'll do this for my podcast as well. I have an hour podcast. It won't fit. It'll only fit the first 5,000 characters.
Okay.
So I put the YouTube link, or the link that I want my people to go back to. If you're selling something, you want to put a link where they can go buy it. You want the title to be clean. Something exactly what it is. Description, keywords. That gets my YouTube juices flowing, which is also owned by Google, so that helps Google juice kick in, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, then we take that same transcription, that same video, and the same photo off Instagram, and we'll go over to LinkedIn and create a LinkedIn article, a little blog on LinkedIn, which works really, really well. People love to read those.
Especially for your market, I would think.
Exactly. If your clients are on LinkedIn, it's perfect for a lot of things. Sure. And then we can take that article and then share that to Twitter, share it again to Facebook again, or share it to different groups as an article.
You share your LinkedIn article on those. Okay. Got it. Just making sure for people listening,
exactly.
Because you haven't mentioned anything doing a blog on your website yet. So these are a lot of these are free tools. You log in, you do a little bit of work, but this is all available to everybody listening right now for free.
Exactly, because you don't have to be a website expert to do these things. These are lowest entry points. These are the easiest. The only thing that's cost us anything would have been the Rev transcription. If it's 5-minute video, that's $5.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This is on the free version of LinkedIn. You haven't paid for anything. No, I'm not posting any ads on Facebook usually. Mm-hmm. And that's the great thing. So you have this article. Now, I will go to Facebook groups where our people hang out. There's millions of Facebook groups. I don't care if you're a basket weaver or a skin diver or whatever it is, selling tiddlywinks. There's a tiddlywink group for you.
Yeah.
Right? So post there. And then we will also take it one step further. We'll go to different specific meetup groups, meetup.com, and post on their discussion board with a link to the video or a link to the article. And a little surprising, meetup groups, there's about half of them that will actually publish their email list that will go out to everybody that's a part of the meetup group.
So they publish the emails.
They publish one generic email that goes to everybody in the group.
Got it.
Yeah, that's a nugget.
Yes.
It's a very big nugget. So I'm a part of 40 meetup groups in our biggest markets, but they're the only groups that publish the actual email. Maybe like meetup 620 at meetup.com or whatever, the Tampa Bay RIA at meetup.com. As long as I join that group and send an email from the email that I joined up the group, it'll go through the moderator. If it's something that's useful, they'll approve it. Now I just one email went out to 5,000 people. Mm-hmm. So meetups are targeted people that are in the specific meetup.
Right? Yeah, like meetup groups, for people that don't know, they're very specific to very specific niches.
Yep.
I've been in some before, and you name it. The basket weaving, the whatever random niche you think, no, I don't know where to find my people. Check out Meetup. Mm-hmm. They might be there.
Oh, yeah, totally. Whether you're saving animals like Steph loves to do, or you're part of the Austin Podcasters Meetup, or we have a meetup tonight with San Diego Note Investors. It's a small group of 50 people, but they're very niche and high quality, high targeted things.
Yep. And
then the other facets of the Octagon can be whatever things. Maybe you're posting stuff to Reddit. Maybe you're posting to Craigslist, or you're sending an email out to your database.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's great. And just one thing I want to add to, Scott says he goes live, and I believe based on what's going on with the algorithms and they want to get as much reach as possible, you two should go live. However, it sounds like you don't have to go live. No, you could do the same thing if someone wanted to take 2-3 takes because it's something new to them and they're a little bit freaked out to go live. You could polish the video and then do the exact same process.
Exactly. And there are some tools out there that are pretty inexpensive. Like you could use liveleap.net, which is a great service. You do one video and then it'll automatically share it across different groups that you've got. It'll also post to LinkedIn and tell you, hey, Scott Carson's going live on LinkedIn right now. It'll also have a posting goes to Twitter and say Scott Carson's going live now on Twitter, so it gets your audience cross-pollinated to go back to your main Facebook Live.
So Live Leap will give you a little a countdown or something, or is it just when it goes live? It
recognizes it. Yeah, exactly. When you go to live, it recognizes you went live on your personal Facebook page. It automatically shares it to your business page, any other groups you want. Yep. And then to Twitter, and then also to LinkedIn at the same time.
So for all those people out there that are holding their phone, doing whatever, they're going to be notified right then if they want to get a little 5 minutes of knowledge from that person they follow. Boom, you're right there.
Exactly. And then there's other websites too, like Repurpose.io is another great. It's like $20 a month, something like that. Whereas if you went live on Facebook, it'll recognize that, and then you can just log in to Repurpose and hit one button, and it'll automatically upload the video to YouTube for you. And you can have your keywords and things automatically uploaded for you. Saves time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you can also, another purpose, really great nugget is Restream, which will allow for you to, if you wanted to, run your videos through Restream, and it'll automatically share it to YouTube, share it to Twitter, share it to Facebook as well for you. They're $20-$25 a month. They're pretty expensive. I think Restream's maybe a little bit more expensive at $50 if I remember correctly. But those are great tools to do one thing and have it exponentially delivered for you.
Yep. And at the end of the day, all this Octagon thing, we started with a 2-minute video, 3-minute video, whatever. You pick up your phone, you push the button, whether it's Facebook Live, that happens automatically. All these other things are available for free. There's a little bit of work, or you can use these services that help cut down on the time. So yeah, this is great knowledge for people out there that are, I don't know what to do. I don't have traffic to my website. Well, pick up your phone.
Yeah.
Actually, we've said this in other podcasts too. just pick up your phone and start talking. And, it's a little awkward the first couple times, maybe the first 10 times.
You're not going to, 80% of sales happens after the fifth contact. That's what everybody has to realize. We live in such a impatient society. I want it now. Give it to me now. I want my sandwich, my tacos delivered to me now. I'm like, Jesus Christ, get your fat ass off the couch and go get your Taco Bell, all right?
Yeah.
But you can do everything delivered relatively easy, but you just got to do it again and again and again. Consistency is what really builds brand value. People know that you're not... we talked about at the break about how when markets go down, you have multi-level marketing things and people draw in circles and all these snake oil salesmen come out. Don't be a snake oil salesman. I don't care if that you want to be a double diamond eagle, all right, selling soap on a rope. That's not fun.
Yeah.
Sell your own stuff.
Yeah.
Just use the tools that everybody else is using, because if you think about it, like Starbucks, this is a great nugget. Starbucks is a multi-billion-dollar company. They have 9 people running their social media. 9 people for the entire company. And they're using the same tools that we just mentioned. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. If you need to create an image, you're not good at taking photos, use Canva. It's really great, easy to use. That's basically, I think, $12 a month. But
So you guys use Canva for your images?
Daily.
Yeah. I've
Daily.
used it as well. I do not, I guess I refuse to use Photoshop because I've been doing this a long time and I still don't know how to do it.
Right.
So, Canva is a good tool. Is it Adobe Spark? Am I thinking of that one? That's
Adobe
even cheaper?
Photoshop, or the Adobe Spark, I think it is.
Yeah, I think that's even
good,
cheaper.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, bunch of stuff you can use. What do you use for your posting on social? Do you just do it live on Twitter, or do you use another tool?
There's a couple tools. We use Buffer.
Okay.
Because we have different... Buffer is free.
It is.
It is free for anybody that's getting started. I think it'll allow you to do your Twitter, a LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest. Account those 4 or 5. And they'll allow you to do that. Schedule it. Very easy to do for those that have side hustles or doing side hustles. It'll allow for you to pre-plan out your calendar a couple weeks out. So if you've got things coming up, you got to work Monday through Friday, spend Sunday night, and plan your marketing calendar hit going forward.
Get those pictures out there, get them scheduled, try to figure out what time they're going to be looking at Pinterest or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. If you have an Instagram account, you can go in and see when people are looking at your views. The best time to post, especially whether you can send an email out or post something. Especially our biggest bang for a buck when we send an email, it's Sunday night at 6 and 7 p.m. They're just starting to think about the weekend. They're getting that rot gut. I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Checking their emails, and they start seeing, oh, hey, there's an email. Let me read about this. Oh, this looks exciting. I'm feeling really crappy about my job. I want to do something different, or I want to buy the stuff. It's a great way to hit them. And then scheduling your social media to hit. So, we just had the Super Bowl, right? We had stuff set up to go exactly at 7 o'clock p.m. when the Super Bowl ended. And then a lot of people, you're going to post to social, post at 9 o'clock at night. Because we all do it. We're all sitting in bed at 9 o'clock, checking on our cell phones. And that's a great way to add a lot of connections and organic relationships online at that time.
Yeah, I think that's good advice, too, because if you've been around a while, there's this old idea of send your emails on Tuesday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., period. There was never a that was not to be questioned, right? But now...
That was the law according to God.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard it so many times, I remember it, that's when you do it. Well, maybe if you're in a specific, in a business niche where, somebody's sitting in their office reading email, but most people right now are actually, they're not reading email at the office. They're reading email on their phone. And like you said, for social, maybe you're not looking at Pinterest in the office at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. That's the time you actually get your work done. So, think about when your customer base is actually looking, when they want to see the stuff that you're putting out there, right? You guys actually, your niche is probably that Sunday night, that makes a ton of sense because they got to go to work in the morning. And, oh, man, it makes perfect sense. For e-commerce people out there, maybe that won't be the best time for you. But think about it. Think when do you look at social? Try to put yourself in their shoes, and when would they want to see whatever it is you have to sell? Right?
That's such a great tip. Think about your client being one person.
Yeah.
Think about that it's Jesse that you're marketing to, not Jesse and his 1,000 friends, because that's not effective. But you create your marketing where you're talking like you're having a one-on-one conversation.
Yep.
And you'll have so much bigger impact and response rate. And just do it a couple times. That's the biggest thing. I think most people, like we said earlier, impatient. They send an email out, do a marketing pitch. This doesn't work. You just got to do it. Keep doing it. You're going to get better. Embrace the word. I like to say, embrace the suck, because we all suck at the beginning.
Yep.
And we just get better by failing forward.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. I know. I do a lot of stuff on the side as well. I do stuff at Ecwid, and sometimes it is tough, right? Like you're not in the mood. I sent an email blast this morning for something. I wasn't really in the mood, but all right, copy paste. Let's just do this. Press send. All right, I'm done. So one got out, right? And same with social. Like you think, what am I doing here? But like. You get the pictures, you take the pictures, do your little captions, do the hashtags, and eventually that following it'll happen. It just sometimes, yeah.
One of the best things if you're using the same hashtags is just open up Notepad on your cell phone and type it once, save it, and that way you're just copy pasting back and forth between Instagram and Notepad.
Yep, I got to do that. I've heard this tip before. I've heard it several times. Like,
do it now.
Open Notepad, get the hashtags. Yeah, because it is a pain in the butt, and then you quit on the third hashtag. Like,
damn, autocorrect.
That's enough. Fine, I'm good with this.
I also love the little hacks in on your smartphone, like being able to put like XX or whatever, and it'll put in your website name, so you don't even have to go back in and do that.
I thought he was going to go XXX there.
Yeah, no.
What's in your browser
history?
history?
It's a family show. It's a family show. No. So one of the things I was going to ask when you were talking about the 5 touch points and beyond, do you do any retargeting with this, or you pretty much trying to stay away from ads?
We don't do a lot of pixels. All I need to. I find out this weekend at Traffic Conversion, one of my best friends in Austin is one of the best at what he does. He just lives South Austin. We do a little bit more so with our emails. We can only see who opened the emails, who bought and who didn't buy, and retargeting those lists. Hey, saw that you didn't buy. What's the situation? Or do you need a special discount? Those kind of things, and that helps us with a little bit. Oh, hey, here's an extra bonus, 25% off, or hey, we'll give you a bonus to sign up now on this.
So even you learn at conferences as much as you know. Yeah, it's great, right? I mean, trying to bring it full circle here. Look at the success that Scott has had, and he's not even doing the paid advertising. Like,
yeah, that's what I caught that because I'm a paid advertising guy. So
Jesse, that's his main job, and that's his main success from his walleye store. He's got other things going on too, but it's just a perfect example. You literally have both other sides of the table here. You have a organic content creation, and you can be successful. You can do paid and be successful. You both can learn from each other. We all can learn from you both.
Yep.
What would
you? Church of E-commerce today. I love it.
Yeah.
Amen.
What before we get back into letting them know where they can learn more about you and all that, what would you say if someone was starting today from scratch? Would the Octagon be the path that you would tell them to go just to get started right away?
Oh, amen. It totally, because it's open to everybody. It doesn't cost you anything except some of your time initially. And most of the things that we discussed were just free. You've just got to spend time on there. And that's where everybody's at socially. Facebook, LinkedIn, easy ways, meetup.com. Go find where your tribe hangs out and just spend time on there and be consistent about it. That's the thing. Be consistent. Post on the same time. Post on a regular basis. Maybe you're using Instagram stories instead of posting Instagram, but it's alerting the followers that out there that you're posting. So just post on a regular basis and then interact. If people respond to a post, hey, thanks for liking. Hey, thanks for the comment. What do you do? Just try to get interactive with your audience, and they'll say, oh, wow, it's not some bot. Oh, wow, Richie is a real person.
Yeah.
All right. Jesse's a real person. Oh, okay. I can talk to these people.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what a lot of people that are scared of social, that it's all bots and it's not really people don't want to feel like a number. They want to feel like a real person, and that's what the people think about social. It's having that one conversation once, getting it out to many to lead to individual conversations, and that's where you close things, is those individual one-on-one conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's tough because when you post these things on social, of course people respond, and then you're like, it feels like such a task. Like, all right, I got to respond, but that's part of the grind. Like, you have to do that. And I know it's like, too, when you start out with a new Instagram profile, you have like 20 followers. You're like, oh, man, is this worth it? But, you do have to stay after it. And if you reach out to these other people and cross-pollinate, I think that's part of the thing with the Octagon, too, is like, yeah, your Facebook your Facebook followers, it'll start out at 0, right? Everybody starts out at 0, but some of these things you mentioned, like the meetup group and be able to send emails, well, all right, there's people that are already following this specific topic, right? Facebook groups, there might be, some of these Facebook groups have like
Big
groups, and they're very specific. So like, I would say advice to people out there listening, right? So think about, what is your product? All right. Have you ever went to Facebook groups and typed in the name of your product? And maybe get a little creative. Don't type in just their brand name. Like, get a little creative with the types of products you sell and figure out those Facebook groups. Go to meetup.com. Actually, Meetup, I haven't really heard that tip, and I think that's really good. That it's more of a, I don't think everybody does that. So it's probably even more fertile ground for marketing. So
it's pretty good. And I don't have to use this. I had a friend who uses Facebook Marketplace to sell stuff.
Okay.
So like she rehabs houses and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. She'll sell the dirty carpet. So literally she'll get online, take a picture of the carpet, won't rip it out. We'll just post it on Facebook Marketplace, and they'll have like 2 or 3 people coming to pay her $20 for the dirty carpet, and they'll do the rehab. They'll pull it out herself. Or it's funny. I'm like, you're the trash queen. She's like, shut up! But I paid for my new shoes.
My wife swears by Facebook Marketplace. Yep. She loves it. It's a whole nother conversation. So one of the things that you said there that really struck me when you were talking about the automation and using these tools is a lot of our listeners are one-man, one-woman shows. And this is a way to be able to scale in a whole nother way where, okay, so $12, $50, $29, add those together. It's still cheaper than a person.
Yep.
Now we'd love to employ people, and you obviously have other people with your company. But yeah, that's really important. Like, you get to repurpose everything. So you say the message once. You can get it in video. You can get it in text. You can get it in audio. So you can cover all the modalities. You get it Buffer or Hootsuite, and you get it to go out to all these things. So now you're not going to have to individually post all these things. So definitely for that person who's just getting started, like that, super gems. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
No problem. And if you're scared of a platform, do yourself a favor. Just ask. If you go to a meetup group or network group, or call in or talk to somebody, hey, a lot of times we have found, especially some of our more seasoned students, they'll hire a kid from the local college who's studying this now, social media, entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. And they'll hire them not 40 hours a week, but like $10 an hour for like 10 hours a week. They come in, they help them get started, 90 days, and they maybe move into having an assistant that's part-time that they can pay that does it for them while they're able to still work their full-time gig.
Oh, that's awesome. So people have got to experience you. They know, they can probably feel through their headphones how much you care about helping people. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's like, it's obviously not your niche target market, but hey, this just shows how much you believe in putting your message out there and sharing and helping people out. So we super appreciate that. And in appreciation of that, we really would love you to share, like if someone wants to get to know more about you and more about what you're doing and what's going on in the world of distressed notes, and where should they go? What's the best?
One is our website, weclosenotes.com. It's kind of the main landing point, weclosenotes.com. We have a little podcast. It's niche, a podcast called The Note Closers Show. Anywhere that you listen to podcasts, it's available. But those are the two big things. If you Google Scott Carson, the Note Guy, I'm everywhere on the internet, so it's hard not to miss me. Right, Steph?
Mm-hmm. That is true.
That's right. So, yeah, that's the easiest place. Those two things. Scott Carson or weclosenotes.com. I am not a footballer for an English football team, though. All right, there's a
Scott Carson.
There's a Scott Carson goalie who's bad.
So you guys battle for SEO rankings, really?
Well, a funny story. I was like Googling something like swag one day, and I saw this I Heart Scott Carson. I was like, whoa, I got a fan club. Oh, wait, that's not my fan club.
How many did you buy?
I haven't bought any. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's funny. So glad we went to the conference.
Yeah.
Glad to see you at New Media Summit, too. That was awesome.
It's great, man. I love podcasting. Man, it's such a great group of people. I was in here earlier with Mary Goulet, and I dropped a word that we use in our real estate investing community called co-opetition. And it's where cooperation and competition come together. And as podcasters, we're all trying to drive our own audience, driving people to our websites, trying to do whatever it is. but it's such a friendly, cooperative community. New Media Summit, 200 people coming together. Traffic and Conversion Summit, 6,000 plus people coming together to really work on each other's businesses. It's such a great place to be.
Yeah. And I think that kind of brings it full circle to why we wanted to bring in here. Like, get out there, everybody. Go visit the conferences, meet people, get out there, shake some hands.
Right, baby.
Scott and Stephanie, really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Richard.
Thank you. Take care.
Well, Rich, there's another great show.
And when you add it all together with the other shows, you won't miss any strategies or new tactics on how to grow your online business.
So to make sure you don't miss anything, subscribe on your favorite podcast player. Rich, what player do you like?
Probably Stitcher.
All right.
How about you?
I'm an Apple podcast guy. I'm an Apple guy on that.
Yeah.
And we're growing right now. A listener asked us to add Google Play as a platform. So we just added that a couple weeks ago. We have Spotify, SoundCloud.
Nice. We're everywhere.
So subscribe on your favorite platform, and don't forget to rate and review us.
So we know what you think.
Yeah, rate how we're doing, review on what we have done, tell us topics you'd like us to cover, tell us if you think we're great and you are going to take over the world.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
It's the only way we'll know, and it keeps the shows coming. Thanks, everybody.